A motorcycle ghost, a real haunted house, a ski resort with an apparition on the ski slope, a new employee in a theater housed by specters. The common thread: each location is haunted by supernatural forces. The Ghost of Oxford, Milford Road. Oxford, Ohio is a small town of. Coming up to the long driveway to the house, the young man's motorcycle slid out from under him. The injuries he incurred were serious. So serious that he died. Legend has it that his ghost still haunts that stretch of Milford Road. Later, Brad Culp, a student at Miami University, would take an interest in the story. So, one night Culp and his girlfriend decided to find out if the legend was true. Culp was convinced he could disprove the legend, but his girlfriend was less sure. On one night Culp passed the now abandoned farm when he decided to try an experiment. After some convincing, his girlfriend agreed. Culp turned onto the farm's driveway, stopped his car, and flashed his lights 3 times. Almost immediately they witnessed a lone headlight coming down the highway. The headlight was moving slowly as it turned onto the driveway and came straight at their car. Fearing a collision, Culp turned on his car's headlights. Expecting to see someone on the motorcycle, he was shocked to find nothing there. No motorcycle and no light. He and his girlfriend got out of the car puzzled. They looked around trying to make sense of what they'd seen. To this day, Culp and his girlfriend, who is now his wife, continue to maintain that their story is true. The Northfleet Terror. A small 3-bedroom house sat in Northfleet, England. In 1962, Sidney Maxted, his wife and 3 children were living in the modest home at 16 Waterdales. Over the course of their time in the house, Maxted's wife heard noises during the daytime coming from the bedroom above the living room. It sounded like someone was walking above, yet she knew there was no one upstairs. Later, the Maxted children started complaining about scratching noise under their beds and their bed covers being pulled away. They also related that they found themselves being pulled or hit by invisible hands. The family was perplexed. No paranormal activity had ever happened in the house before. However, matters would get worse. At 2 a.m. one night, Mrs. Maxted went to check on the family's baby, Claire. All was well and she returned to bed. As she lay in bed, she looked over at the door to the bedroom. There she saw a figure of a young child enter the room. Thinking it was their 6-year-old daughter, Linda, she called the little girl's name, but the child did not answer. The specter moved across the room toward her. As it got closer, it grew in height until becoming a tall figure. The figure bent over her, terrifying the woman. Mrs. Maxted screamed. The screams woke her husband and the apparition disappeared. That was the last straw. The family moved out the next day. La Pava Ski Resort is located in La Pava, Chile. It is about 30, but La Pava has a secret. A wailing woman named Lola. Locals say they actually met the woman while she was alive, with even one local businessman insisted that he dated her. Professional skier, Drew Tabke, even says he knows exactly where the legend first came to light. It was a beautiful day on the mountain when Lola and her young son arrived, planning to spend the entire day skiing. But the weather in the mountains can change quickly, and it did. Thick fog rose from the valley, indicating that a storm may be coming soon. The pair were at the top of the mountain when thick clouds surrounded the mother and son. As they tried to get to safety at the bottom of the mountain, the two lost sight of each other. Lola began yelling for her son. The thick fog made finding him impossible. She lost track of her route and she fell into a steep slope and sliding toward a rocky gully. A local ski lift operator would come across her body soon afterward. He feared her dead, but to his surprise she was still alive, but injured. As he knelt over her, he heard her whisper her son's name. The lift operator pulled her out of the gully and took her to his cabin just up the mountain. He made her comfortable and bandaged her wounds before leaving to get a doctor. He and the doctor battled the fog, but eventually made it to the cabin only to find her gone, leaving on bloody sheets behind. Lola and her son were never found. Locals began to report hearing her wailing for her son whenever they get close to the ski lift operator's cabin. Is this a case of people who mistake the wind for the cry of a desperate mother? Or is this a case of a woman who is searching for her son? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The Ghost in the Theater. Hilary Prue was an usher at the Du Maurier Theatre Centre. Hilary thought that perhaps they were just trying to scare her as part of some initiation to the crew. Then, while alone in the office, she heard a blood-curdling scream. Thinking that someone might be in distress, she left the office and checked the building. But there was no one else there. Telling her co-workers of her experience, one of said they had a similar encounter. After that, Hilary was a bit on edge. She felt like she was being watched all of the time. On one occasion she thought a co-worker had brought the children to work and that they were playing pranks on her. But no one said they had their children there. Sometime later a paranormal group came to the theater to do a ghost investigation. The results startled Hilary. The group had seen a man wearing a hat and a woman in a Victorian dress. They also saw a small boy hiding in the rafters. Hilary then knew who was watching her. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new content. And here are a few more videos for you to enjoy.